Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hands-On Living. I'm your host, Peter Arena. And as the saying roughly goes, never allow perfect to get in the way of good enough. And so I've been a little bit, how do I put it, reluctant to make this video, which I intend to be a walk-around review of my camping rig, which is behind me here. And today seems like this is a good enough day. So I'm actually located in Vermilion, Ohio at a friend's brother's home, and I'm about 10 miles south of the Lake Erie coast near Sandusky, Ohio. And let's dive into it. So here we go. So this is my 2004 diesel Super Duty crew cab truck that I'm employing as my beast for motivating across the country and around the world on this never-ending venture of mine. And it has been pretty good. It's a 6.0 liter engine, and it had some of the bypass work done on the emissions controls that made it a little bit easier to operate without some of the problems that occur with these 6.0 engines. In any event, one of the modifications I did early on was to add this, what I call my hillbilly bike rack. I had been looking around for bike racks to put on, and nothing was making me happy. And so I just went to Lowe's, bought one of those bike rack holder dealies that you put in your garage, fasten this plywood to the big ranch hand grill on here, and then I just fasten it with these little guys, and I've got a cable lock, and it's been doing okay. It's a great little way of moving around. If you're looking at doing a truck camper, you got to have another means of getting around, either with shoe leather or with a bicycle, because once the truck is in place, it's really not easy to do much else. I'm doing this on the long term, so I've packed a lot of my stuff in here. So I've got a little bit of a coat hanger action here with some of my seasonal coats and whatnot, but then there's a lot of tools, obviously, and this is just one side. I've got a bunch more on the other side. My bocce set that belonged to my dear beloved departed brother Joe, and then of course the trenching tool and requisite roll of toilet paper as need be. So there's that. I did a little aftermarket installation of an awning, which, shame on me, I should have gotten all done and put out before I started this, but effectively it's just an awning that's intended to be installed on a regular residence. And so what I had to do was install some bracketing to backstop what is an otherwise very flimsy 1.25 inch thick wall, but it seems to be holding up pretty good. And it's a nice, by the way, it's a very nice awning. It comes out about 8 feet. I had to get new propane tanks for this. They were the old style on here, and one of them was leaking anyway, so I made the investment. That was about $230, but each one has its own gauge, so I can turn them over. Like today or tomorrow, I need to stop by someplace and get this tank refilled. But in the meantime, this guy is full, and it's doing the job of almost exclusively running the refrigerator, which is above it right here. This is the exterior access panel for the refrigerator's controls. I'm just kind of doing this off the cuff. So these are removable steps, and normally you should be able to fold this up and then have it wire connected while you're traveling. I didn't feel very comfortable with that, so I just take it off and stow it inside of the trailer while I'm going, and along with my water tank, and then you'll see my small electric generator that I purchased. I also stow a short ladder up on the roof. I don't know, I'm just kind of doing this, stretching my arm here. I'm not sure you can see that or not, but I've got a ladder that I keep up on the roof. So the interior of the space I've kind of customized. I've got all my stuff. I've got my flip-flops, my boots, and my yoga mat, and I'm turned this down. As you can see, normally this right here would fold up and become a cabinet, but it also folds down to create a otherwise an additional bed. What I've done is I've purchased these totes, and I've got them filled with all of the various things that are effectively all my clothes, but sheets and towels as well. And so they tend to stay in place in pretty good shape, but I put these little bungees up there just as a security. This area right here is really kind of not yet finished, but this is all my dry goods. So I've got all of my canned goods and sundry items here. What I'm going to probably do is build a simple cabinet of sorts. I'm thinking of more of a pantry cabinet that would be just stick out from the wall here, and still afford people the opportunity to be able to get around the table. But in the meantime, this is sufficing, and so that's that. The refrigerator's doing pretty good. I had to do some quick cobbling and took what was effectively a window bracket and carved it down and turned it into a keeper to make sure that the refrigerator doesn't pop open. But it's been a pretty good, it's got a lot of room in it, and it's been more than satisfactory. And once the refrigerator gets going, she seems to be operating pretty well, thank God. My water setup, by the way, you fill the water from the exterior, and there's a tank down here below in this space. This is basically the water tank underneath that. And what I do is I will fill here at the faucet in the quote-unquote kitchen, or as you saw, I've got that water outside. But then what I do is I'll take that water and I put it into my Berkey, and the Berkey I created a little stand for. You can see I've got it set up so that it's cushioned, and again, a secondary insurance policy to make sure she doesn't go toppling over on rougher roads. I've got this bungee on here, but really I've forgotten to put it on a couple of times, and I come back here thinking I'm going to look at a catastrophe, and she's just sitting there doing her thing. So bed space and my laundry basket, the cabinetry above here, I put in some shelving here so I could kind of supplement some more space, but pretty ample. And then unbeknownst to me, and I think unbeknownst to the previous owner of my camper, my Lance Squire, there's actually a spice rack above the stove, and I just discovered it by accident. But in the meantime, I had put these guys down, and they are attached to this surface with Velcro adhesive Velcro, so it's removable, but it's not going to topple over. And then I've got some of my cooking implements mounted on the wall here. I actually did a little base and attached my knife rack to that so that it does not move, and it has proven to be in pretty good shape. I will stow my pot for, you know, various cooking needs inside the oven while underway. This space was really kind of an unusable, narrow, tall space. But so I installed a couple, 3 shelves in here, and so it's got, and of course stuff moves around while underway, but generally speaking, I've just got a lot of smaller items stowed in here, including my little battery operated vacuum. I've got Ryobi tools, and so I more or less have been stuck buying more Ryobi tools because all of the batteries are interchangeable. This is the quote-unquote bathroom. The space I use it for is effectively a wardrobe space, so it's got more of a closet, and I'll sometimes hang my wet towel up on there, and that seems to be working okay, but I need to be able to secure these so that they're not tumbling around and making a mess and falling all over the place, which I often discover after I've been driving for a while on bumpy roads. So that's that. And then I've got, when I'm at a campsite, I've got my Coleman stove, and I've got a Coleman lantern, gas can for the generator, which I'll be showing you presently. No air conditioning in here, but you know, if you keep things ventilated, it seems to be pretty comfortable. And I could do this without breaking my neck. We go around here to the other side, and had some old damage on the side of the vehicle that the previous owner just kind of patched up, but it's not a big deal. I think they bumped into something, and that was that. But like I say, the size of this thing is like tissue paper. Electrical supply. So if you have shore power opportunities, or as in my case, a small gas generator, you can run the 110. In the meantime, though, there are 110 plugs in the camper, but they do not work on the 12-volt battery alone. This is the battery compartment in here, and I've also got a setup here where I need to fix this, but I think this is wired incorrectly currently, and so I'm going to stop by someplace and talk to somebody and see if we can't get that straightened out, because right now it's not operating in conjunction with the battery on the truck. If it was operating, you know, you keep this plugged in while underway, and it will do a continuous job of recharging your battery. But that's not the case currently. But one step at a time, sweet Jesus. And as you can see, we've got, I had to do some modifications here. This is normally the city water connection, but it was broken, so I replaced it with this brass spigot, which I can then attach to my little exterior shower. It's just cold water, nothing crazy there, but what I need to do is get some sort of companion adapter fitting that will allow me to still attach a hose to this spigot, because currently it is a female fitting that is on there, and obviously it's not going to fit with the female fitting that is on the hose. So you need effectively a double-ended male coupling adapter, which I'll probably find. So that's basically it. What I'll do is quite often just kind of set my chairs out. I got my friend here, Gregory. He went off to work, but he'll be back later, and we're going to go tour around Sandusky like proper tourists. But this is the other side of the tool chest, as it were. And so I've got a lot of my stuff stacked. And again, I may find that I'm going to put in some sort of layered shelving that'll allow me to access stuff more easily without having to yank everything out all at once. But in the meantime, I've got kind of the essential stuff set up higher and the less essential stuff down lower. And it's working out okay. All right, well, thanks again. I'm going to try swinging around here and saying goodbye. Thanks again for joining me on Hands-On Living. We're heading to Ohio next, or excuse me, to central Pennsylvania. And I'm going to be doing my first Harvest Host stays, and maybe doing a video introducing the hosts at this next location, and sitting down and chatting with them and finding out what they're doing for making their lives hands-on. In the meantime, don't forget to hit the subscription button and notifications so you can see new videos as they come up. And please tell your friends about Hands-On Living, and have a wonderful day. God bless, and thank you very much. Peace. Peter.